Have you heard of the snowball effect? It's when something starts off small, builds up slowly and then suddenly blows up into something dangerous. Case in point is the India-UK vaccine spat. It started off with Britain not recognizing Covishield. We thought it was a technicality. Covishield is basically AstraZeneca in a different bottle. Surely Britain would change their mind, and they did. They recognized Covishield for travel, but not India's vaccine certificates. So fully vaccinated Indians were asked to quarantine in Britain. What did India say? Two can play at that game. New Delhi imposed retaliatory restrictions on British travellers. Britons visiting India will have to undergo a mandatory quarantine. But the snowball has not stopped yet. It has now gone beyond diplomacy and travel. Sports is the new flashpoint. India is hosting the Men's Junior Hockey World Cup next month. It's a big tournament, but Britain will not be sending a team. Here's what their hockey board says. With a number of COVID-related concerns in place and with player and staff well-being in mind, it has become untenable for our team to participate. We note that on Friday, the Indian government announced a mandatory 10-day quarantine for all UK nationals. So Britain pulled out first, and now India has retaliated. Both the Indian men's and women's team have pulled out of the Commonwealth Games. They're scheduled for July 2020 in Birmingham. So that's far away. Hockey India has given two reasons for the pullout at this point. One, the rising Wuhan virus cases in Britain, and two, the 10-day mandatory quarantine. Here's what the president of Hockey India said. Such discriminatory restrictions were not imposed on Indian athletes and officials during the recent Tokyo Olympic Games, and this 10-day quarantine requirement for vaccinated sportspersons will affect their performance. We feel these restrictions are biased and against India and term it as very unfortunate. He's right. There were no such restrictions at the Tokyo Olympics. They had more than 11,000 athletes in Tokyo. In comparison, only 4,000 athletes attended the last Commonwealth Games. It's a much smaller event. Frankly, they need India's star quotient. Indian hockey is riding a wave of success and popularity. The men's team bagged bronze in Tokyo. The women's team finished fourth. No India means no viewership. But Britain does not seem to care. They're more concerned about stereotyping India. That's what this vaccine spat boils down to, basically. Britain does not have a problem with Covishield. It has a problem with India's certificates. But the Wuhan virus numbers tell a different story. And we have those numbers. Take a look. Britain is reporting 1.3 million active cases. 1.3 million. What about India? 246,000 cases in a country as big as India. Compare that to Britain, 1.3 million. Same with cases per million. Britain has 116,000 cases per million people. India has 24,000. Let's talk vaccination. India has administered nearly 1 billion jabs. Britain's number is 1/10 of that. This is the ground reality. Britain is dealing with a far bigger outbreak than India. Yet Indian citizens are being quarantined and Indian certificates are being questioned. This is not just a diplomatic crisis. This is classic British snobbery. And it's affecting an important bilateral relationship. There are trade agreements to discuss, Indo-Pacific strategies to finalize. This vaccine squabble is an unnecessary distraction. And for the Commonwealth Games, it's a big loss. They could have gained from the renaissance of Indian hockey, added more viewership to their games, only if they abandoned their petty politics and prejudice. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.